The holidays can be quite a chore and even a bit of a bore doing the same old thing
year after year.
Let me show you how to put a pretty spooky twist on tradition and how to make the switch from cozy fall to deck the halls even easier and more exciting. Plus, I have a gift for you. I've made 2 free printable Christmas cards for you to send to your friends this year. No strings attached, no emails collected. It's just the pretty spooky way to say thank you for watching and happy Gula Days to you and yours. Hello, I'm Angela and welcome to Pretty Spooky Presents Creating Scaradise. I live the pretty spooky lifestyle to enjoy Halloween fun year-round and fit more macabre into the mundane. Truthfully, regular life can be boring, so join me in embracing the irregular and creating our own dark, fantastical fun and not waiting on the calendar to say when. To make life even more pretty spooky, I resurrect my black tree every September and let it evolve and transform all the way through December. This is one way to bathe yourself in the shadows of the darkest part of the year and strike the perfect balance between creepy and cute. In part 1, I shared the September through October transformation, the absinthe ritual with the absinthe fountain, how I make tiny sugar-free sugar cubes in the shape of skulls and tombstones to use in the absinthe ritual and champagne cocktails. I'll link that episode in the description so you can see how it all begins each year at the Pretty Spooky household. Tonight, for part 2, we're showing the November through December transformation, going from Fall-o-ween to Melekaliki monster with a vintage tiki spooky vibe for the holidays. I knew this tradition was so much fun I had to share it with you so you can add a little eeriness to your everyday too. For November's transformation, I'll use these sugar-free sugar cubes in a Smoked Tiki Old Fashioned, and then I'll use them in a delicious Rum Sazerac for December's evolution, right before I show you how to print the pretty spooky Christmas cards that I made to share with you. I've got the 1950s monsters playing in the background, so let's get decorating. The switch from October to November is such an easy one, since we already added the first layer in September and second layer in October. All that needs to be done is switch the lighting from green and purple to fall hues, add some fall garland, and mix in some bumpy orange pumpkins with the metallic faux pumpkins that I set out in September. It's that easy. Now there's plenty of time for baking and getting ready for the big feast, and your house looks festive, fun, and pretty spooky. Even my most conservative and traditional guests have told me how beautiful my tree is. They love how the colors pop against the black branches, and they even like the addition of skulls, saying they fit right in. And nothing seems more autumnal than a tiny sugar-free sugar cube skull in a Smoked Tiki Old Fashioned, full of rich caramel notes in the rums, with ghostly wisps of real hickory smoke, the scent of fresh orange, and spices in my delicious low-carb on the high seas homemade Luxardo cherries. I'll link the episode with the recipe for the cherries in the description. Once you've made a batch, you'll never go back to the store-bought version again. They're so easy and such a treat. You certainly won't miss the extra carbs either. Now it's time to make the switch from warm and witchy autumn to Melekaliki monster with tropical vintage spooky tiki vibes, where we start by easily removing the fall garland and replacing the spiders and bats over the window with fishing net and nautical rope. Just be sure to leave the creepy cloth to lend that sunken ghost ship kind of feeling. Old reruns of Gilligan's Island felt like the perfect show to play in the background while I decorated this year. And with the flick of a switch, we set the Melekaliki mood with pastel hues that were popular in the heydays of tiki. I tuck in more tropical flowers, added to the fern and white flowers that we started with in September, and leave the striped ribbon and universal monster ornaments that we added in October. I decided to stick with green and pink flowers along with cascading stems of giant white orchids to provide a more cohesive color palette which plays nicely off the vintage glass ornaments that belonged to my grandmother. But you could choose any colors you'd like for the flowers. And a little leopard print ribbon nestled here and there takes the tropical tiki vibe just one step further. With all the ornaments in place, it's time to enjoy a spirited Rum Sazerac with a tiny sugar-free sugar cube in the shape of tiny skulls or tombstones. The herbaceous green notes of absinthe and the velvety notes of molasses, dried fruits, and spices in this Demerara-style rum seems perfect for Christmas time. And I get to garnish with my low-carb on the high seas homemade Luxardo cherries again too. A Rum Sazerac is a nice sipper to enjoy while writing Christmas cards to loved ones, especially Melekaliki monster and scary Creepmas cards. I made the scary Creepmas cards a few years ago and put them on my blog, prettyspooky.life. All the snowflakes have spooky little surprises in them, and the verse is a modified version of the vintage classic song, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. While some houses just get a visit from Santa, the Pretty Spooky household started getting visits from the Melekaliki monster over the past few years. Perhaps it has something to do with the addition of our home tiki bar, the Sunken Compass. It's always fun to leave milk and cookies for Santa, but it's even more fun to leave a Mai Tai for the Melekaliki monster. We even do a Hawaiian twist on their traditional Christmas dinner, starting with Mai Tais and low-carb crab rangoon dip, using my one secret trick to reel or jot real fast. We have the traditional turkey and ham, and I add a furikake salmon that is to die for, and lo mein noodles from the Friday Night Feast and Fright episode featuring the Lost Boys. The main course pairs perfectly with the Corpse Reviver 2.5 featured in the Ghostly Tiki Lamp DIY and Corpse Reviver number 2 episode. And for dessert, I do a low-carb pumpkin roll and coconut dark chocolate macadamia nut bars with Beach Bum Berries hot zombie cocktails. Because I love the creature from the Black Lagoon, which was one of my first Friday Night Feast and Fright episodes, and I love the vintage song Melekaliki Maka, I combine them into the Melekaliki Monster, a Pretty Spooky original. The verse is a riff on the classic vintage song, and I made the Melekaliki Monster image to match. This little cutie makes me smile, and hopefully will bring a smile to your loved ones' faces too. All you have to do is go to prettyspooky.life, search Christmas, and print the free PDF onto any blank A2 greeting card that you can easily find in big box stores. No emails collected, no strings attached. They're my gift to you. The envelopes are even themed to match. So have fun wishing your loved ones a pretty spooky holiday this year, and it can become your fun twist on tradition too. Be sure to tell them all where you found their Christmas cards, and who knows, maybe we'll have a few more believers in the Melekaliki monster this year. It truly means so much that you allowed me to share the tradition of the Fall-o-ween-mas Tree with you. I hope that it will spark your creepy creativity and encourage you to design your own macabre masterpiece to add a ghostly glimmer to the darkest part of the year. And if you missed part 1, be sure to check out how it all started in September through October. As always, there will be devilishly delicious cocktails, thrilling theming, and terrifying traditions to share. And if you like the ease and excitement of letting the holidays evolve gradually the pretty spooky way, you'll love my creepy crafting, disturbing decor, and otherworldly recipes. If Halloween is your favorite, yet just one day isn't nearly enough, be sure to check out more Pretty Spooky Presents, Creating Scaradise, Low Carb on the High Seas, and Friday Night Feast and Fright. I'd love to hear which spooky traditions will haunt your holidays and beyond this year, so be sure to drop a comment below. I loved being your haunted hostess. You were a wonderful guest, and you're welcome back always. Farewell until next time. Cheers. I can do this. These are weird hands. Happy Gula Days to you and yours. Yeah. Beepy deep beep. Beepy deep beep. We have a co-star. Hello, I'm Angela, and welcome to Pretty Spooky Presents Creating Scaradise. I have no idea what's floating around up there, but that was silly. Well, my dog is snoring. Wow, that was a whip. Tiny skulls and tiny skulls and tombstones. Tiny skulls and tombstones. Tombstones. In the shape of tiny tata. tiny tombstones and skulls, tiny. And if you like the ease and excitement of letting the holidays, that's a word. And if you like the ease and excitement of letting the holidays evolve, all right. Be sure to check back for more Pretty Spooky Presents Creating Scaradise. Creating Scaradise? What was that? What was that? Be sure to check out more Ooh, this was supposed to be easy.